9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Tune in.
This is your Friday Night Lights podcast, photo and entertainment in Middle Georgia sales and services.
Coke, don't worry about Pepsi. I had to go see a man about a music.
Look at here, look at here.
A-Town down.
And you better not lose.
Tune in.
Not so fast, my friend.
You better say it with your chest.
Come on now, shout it.
And you better not lose.
Hey, you better watch your mouth now.
I am a label.
Better shut your mouth.
Yes, I am. I don't mean to interrupt.
Better say it with your chest.
Let's get it.
And you better not lose.
What's good, peoples?
What's going on, everybody?
Good evening.
Welcome to the Monday night edition of your Friday Night Lights podcast show. I am Jessica. We have Thirsty B.S. Rollins on. Say hello to the people.
What's up, shawty?
We have Yo on the line. He's a little under the weather, guys, so you might not hear from him a lot, but he's here because he's dedicated to you all, and you all should be thankful for that. And we have our good sis, Shakira, on the line. Tell everybody what's up.
It's the feisty bulldog. I'm saying right tonight because I did not come to play with y'all.
You heard it. She did not come to play with y'all.
I got something to say, so we can go on and get the preliminaries out of the way, and then I'll speak.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
can I just say just one thing before you get started? I highly suggest everybody head to the back. We got some fresh wings, 50 pieces back there. We got some vodka, rum, tequila, cognac, whiskey, scotch in the back.
It's a
All
free
name
fall.
brand.
It's a free fall. We got our own drinks. We ain't asking for nothing.
Exactly. So go on back there, pour your own troubles, and fix your plate, because we about to be rocking and rolling tonight. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. So let me get these hellos out of the way. Y'all come on, check on in, let us know you're here. What's going on, Obadiah? As usual, first one checking in. Let's see what's going on, Jeremy.
Go on and share this live so it get to your people.
And then how you doing, Mr. Murphy? And what's going on, Barry? Pierce County checking in. We see you. Y'all come on in and say hello. We have tonight we will be giving our sister the floor so she can say what she has to say. What's going on, D? What's going on, J-Bo? Y'all got a big game this week coming up. Be interested to see it. So, sis, anytime you ready.
Ready.
The floor is yours.
The salutations have been done. We passed that. I've been on this panel now 2 years. Me coming on was after our state run. I didn't get on here poking my chest out. I didn't brag about anything because it's been underlying issues going on with Thomasville High since the state game. When we were winning, there were problems. Nobody wanted to acknowledge it because we were winning. That's fine. Now here we are this season, and it's a real shit show. No, it's not Friday night, but I'm cussing. We were complaining about coaching, are still complaining about coaching. Here's the thing. Because you don't hear somebody talking about something anymore, doesn't mean that it's not still being discussed. We don't have to discuss it amongst ourselves when we just simply choose not to respond to a bootlicker. If you don't hear the conversations no more, it's because we're not talking to you. Don't use your platform to be negative and shoot shots when 1, ain't no bullets. 2, there's no aim. 3, there's no target. We all stand together. There's one lone man out here praising these people. And if I have to call names, I will. I shouldn't have to because we bigger than that. One Coke, don't worry about Pepsi or RC Cola. And if anybody is wondering who RC Cola is, it's the folks down the street. And I'm still trying to be nice because my entire being is on the sideline at Thomas County Central. This is not a direct hit to your fans. This is simply a response to ongoing bull sugar. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it. When I say be humble or take some of that air out your chest, because that's exactly what I said, since y'all want to repeat stuff, that I said take some of that air out your chest. What I meant was you have the look at me syndrome. Like, hey, yeah, we doing this, we balling. Nobody discredited y'all. Not over here, anyway. I've spoken highly of you all. I even spoke highly of the quarterback who I had not seen. Didn't because he's a newcomer, there was no stats or nothing. But I spoke highly of all of that prior to the season starting. And it has continued since. So it really just bothers me to see y'all sit and throw jabs and then you take our content and use it elsewhere. Like, y'all just stay in factuals. Not saying that because we said it isn't true. No, you're taking stuff like you just been on the scene and you know what's going on. Y'all don't know nothing. Nothing. I'm really just fed up. And I kind of feel like the little Mexican fella, Pedro. Shout out to my brother. I'm tired of y'all. Like, sit down now, because it's Aggie as fuck. The jabs, especially towards this show. If you don't agree, stop coming on here. You don't have to listen. You don't have to see what we post, none of that. The data, solid use of air quotes. You don't have to be a part of any of this. But know this show is going to go on regardless. We talk about football. We don't just talk about two teams. We talk about everybody, all classifications, even the private schools. Shout out to Brookwood. We here for all of that. You can't diminish nothing over here. Now, I'm probably going to be the only one that says this stuff because my feelings into this. And my son is like not even a year old yet, but I love football just that much. Y'all can't be this grown and take stuff this far out of proportion. Like, seriously. I'm not begging for attention. I don't care if you listen or you respond or you don't. Doesn't matter. Enough is enough. I would like to continue this podcast with my family in peace. I don't care if you're from Big Crispy, Little TCC, whoever, Big Cedar Grove, Sandy Creek. I don't care. This is a podcast. This is a panel. We shout out these children. We talk shit to each other, but it don't go no further than that. And it's just, I feel it's to the point where it's become too much for some of y'all. If you can't handle it, go on. Go on through the drive-thru, get your cookies, and we gonna holler at you. When there's one thing that has been mentioned about Thomasville. Well, let me be clear on this. I don't come on here and speak on the coaching because I don't. It's not for me to get on any platform and air out our business, especially to people that really don't care. I don't have a yes man in the background hyping me up like, yeah, go on and tell it. No, there's nothing to tell. I keep my conversations brief, unless it's to the people that really care. Coaching sucks. Everybody know what we gonna do before we do it. Hell, we know. My children know what play is gonna be called on Friday nights. True enough, you have to hold the players accountable for whatever actions may go on inside of the locker room, outside of the locker room. But if your players haven't bought into your system, then it's already a lost cause. You have to be an alpha male to lead a group of boys, especially at the high school age, and they're playing football. Because there are other temptations, and they could be elsewhere doing something else. God forbid. So, with that being said, if these children don't respect you, or whatever the case may be, then it still goes back to coaching. Now, I'm still limiting myself on what I'm saying because there's so much more that I could go on and say to prove my point, but I don't have to because I don't have to. But what I'm not going to do is sit back and just continue to watch all this shit and listen to y'all discuss Thomasville High football. Like, there's not a history there. Like, there's no tradition there. Like, people don't know who we are. Or, like, you as an alumni didn't come from there. I don't have a child on the active roster right now, so I don't have to limit what I'm saying, but I still know how to do it in moderation and be truthful about it. I'm not licking nobody's boots because if you suck, you suck. I think that I'm gonna say that and be done because looking at these notes, there's some real ugly stuff I wrote on this paper to say to all of y'all, but I'm not even gonna do that. I feel like my point has been made, and I'm gonna bow out.
Well, hold on. I gotta open up the windows and clear some of this smoke out. So, boy, I swear this place just caught on fire. So, with that being said, I'm gonna reiterate a few things. One, Coke don't worry about Pepsi. Coke don't worry about RC.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to reiterate. I personally take imitation as a form of flattery. I do. But I guarantee you this, though. This is one of the best high school podcasts you will find in the land in the state of Georgia because we cover the entire state. Not part of it. Not this half. Not that half. We cover the entire state. We're going to talk about your school. We're gonna inform you of schools you may have never heard of before. So, therefore, welcome to the best podcast, high school football podcast in the land. Y'all ready to get the show started now? To get this thing rock and roll. All right, so we got some news to talk about today before we get into this thing real deep. Definitely got some news to talk about, and I know everybody should know what I'm gonna put up on the screen and show. We got to talk about this NIL thing. GHSA went in today and passed the NIL deal. How do we see that impacting high school football? Me personally, not much. I really don't, because there's only going to be a select few that's going to benefit from this. And those select few are called the AJC Super 11. And this is why I say this. When you read this, you can't represent your team, your school. You can't even record a commercial advertisement on campus, on your school ground. It can have no logos trademarked by the GHSA or FNL. They got to be you and your street clothes at that place of business. So, if you're not a big
even
name,
say who you play for?
Nope. You cannot mention your school name. You can't wear nothing. Well, hold on now. As far as saying who you play for, I don't see that specifically, but you cannot wear anything that identifies the school that you go to, your school name, or uniform. You can wear plain clothes with the colors, but you can't be identifying that particular school. No school apparel or equipment.
Antoine says no school colors either. Um, there have been a
Now,
lot of
school
people. I'm
is
just
ways
saying.
around. It's ways around that with regular clothes.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
let me see what I see. I'm going to I'm not gonna be able to read all of these, so I'm just gonna say a general welcome to everybody that has commented thus far. I'm gonna start reading the comments regarding the NIL deals. Um, let's see. Um, let's
man, you
see.
got to speak on Mr. Odom because you know he's gonna come in and get it in every day,
What's
every
going
show.
on, Sick? In case y'all forgot, they play football in East Macon. Whether it's the middle school, recreation, middle school, or high school, they play football in East Macon. And if you don't know, now you know. Let's see. With regard to the NIL deal, let's see. People are saying, um, let's see. Barry says he doesn't agree with it. D'Angelo was saying what they've outlined is not new. Antoine says they can't wear school colors either. Um, Shantae, welcome. Um, she says D'Angelo College is different from this. I
Yeah.
don't totally understand the college NIL. So
Well, in college, they can wear their game jersey. You know, they can wear their jersey, represent their school. But at the same time, it's the same thing that's going on in college that's going to end up happening in high school. If you're not a big name athlete, you're not going to go national. Nobody in this Georgia NIL thing is going national. So get that out your mind. Ain't nobody finna make $1 million. They might make a couple of $1,000, do some local advertising for a local mom and pop, but they're not finna be out there advertising for no big local, or for no big chain. Ain't nobody gonna be out there advertising for Sam's and Walmart.
well, let me ask you this. What do you think about how do you think it's going to affect those I don't want to say recruiting or transfers because it seems to me do you think those schools with the big booster sales will be able to finagle this NIL thing and so they can say, hey, you if you come over here, you might end up with an NIL deal.
Again, one, look at the individual. If they're not, first off, I'm gonna go back to this. If they're not an AJC Super 11, it's gonna be a hard sell because for you to go down and pick somebody off the street from another school and try and say, hey, you come over here to my school, I'm gonna get you. You can come play for me, and I'll get your NIL there. When they riding the bench at somewhere else, you're gonna be a fool to believe that.
Well, who said they're going for the ones that are riding the bench, though, Mike?
But I'm just saying in general, the only people that's gonna benefit from this is an AJC Super 11, unless and if you're the number one recruit in the nation, you an AJC Super 11 outside of Rayola, but it is what it is. But unless you transfer in after the list done came out, ain't nobody gonna benefit. It's gonna benefit from an NIL deal. Not on a statewide scale. Now locally,
Yeah.
of course, some people is gonna, but it's gonna be for local mom and pops.
But what I'm saying is, if I can get a little change in my pocket, if my booster has an electronics store and I'm playing over at this school, but if this and I'm doing really well, and this booster club over here has somebody in their booster club that has this little or this pretty successful electronics store, come over play for us.
Okay,
That's what mine is. That's all I'm saying.
let's take the running back from Air Persons. The kid
Okay.
been on the map for the past 3 years, right? One of the best backs in the state of Georgia, putting up numbers down in Air Persons. He can sign an NIL deal. If NIL deal was around right now, he can sign with a local mom and pops in that local area and do advertising for him because that area knows him.
Yeah.
Now, to get outside of that local area, you can probably expand that probably another 50 miles. People know him. Your average everyday Joe may know him because of conversations they've heard at the barber shop, in the grocery store, at the gas station. When you get outside of that 50 mile, even 75-mile radius, now it's getting a little shaky.
But you're operating under the premise that the goal is to get them an NIL, or that the one that's advertising actually cares about making money off of his likeness and image. They might be using that as a way to just get them there. Let me read these comments though. Shantae, you get out of my head. She said, why would they go for the one who's riding the bench? Kenneth says car dealerships will be paying these kids to advertise for them and get to drive a new car while in high school. Oh, I mean, and that's
But
listen.
again, though, but Kenneth, get the college NIL concept out of your mind. We're talking high school. It's 400 and what 20 some high schools in the state of Georgia playing football. Everybody in the state of Georgia don't know everybody that's playing football. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna start out local first. It's gonna be a local mom and pop business that's gonna start putting these kids in an NIL deal, i.e., like I say, Mayor Person. He'll make a killing down there right now for these local mom and pops. It ain't gonna. It may get to 5K a month, possibly. It's possible, but guess what? The part that everybody forgetting, they gonna make these kids one pay taxes on it, and guess what? When they start paying taxes on this stuff, y'all see what's oh, you can't see. Hold on. I'm gonna blow this up. What's highlighted on the screen? It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of fine details in here. I'm gonna blow this up on the screen. Once these kids start making that money.
Yeah, students and their families should seek professional guidance as to how NIL activities could impact collegiate financial aid and or tax implications, among other issues.
Because that little money gonna be gone that first year in college. But they ain't gonna get it no more.
Well, let me tell you, as a former government tax professional, if you owe less than $25,000, just call the IRS and tell them you want to set up a payment plan, divide whatever you owe by 72, and tell them that's what you want to pay a month, and keep it moving. Let's see. Antonio says, I agree with Mike. Only the top-notch players will benefit. Local businesses and schools will use it to their advantage. Yeah, I think they'll use it to their advantage because the goal is not necessarily for the business. Yeah, they want the advertisement, but they want the kid more because it's really a donation. I don't think, like, if they really want those kids, they ain't trying to make money off of them like that. Some of them are, and that's my other concern. You need somebody to look over this stuff to make sure that these kids are not taken advantage of. Let's see.
Well, this is where this comes in at right here.
Within 7 calendar days after entering into any type of NIL contract / agreement, a student or the student's parent / guardians must notify the principal or athletic director of the student's school of entering into that agreement.
So it's small oversight there, but my biggest thing is a lot of these kids, a mom and pop, local business, hey, come do this commercial. I give you $250, or let me take a picture with my product. I give you $500.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's gonna be.
Well, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, but I know the biggest winners out of all of this are gonna be those AJC Super 11s every year.
Yeah,
they're gonna be the biggest winners year in and year out because at the end of the day, those are the same ones stepping into college and being recruited into college with an NIL deal behind that scholarship.
Yeah. Anatoly Cloud. If I'm saying your name incorrectly, please correct me in the comments because you deserve to get your name pronounced correctly. But welcome to the podcast. He says, Antonio Odoms, I totally disagree with him. The top 50 recruits in Georgia will benefit from all classes.
I can't say that
Jeremy,
because I can't.
go
Hold on, let
ahead.
me respond to him. The reason
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the AJC Super 11, and you have to look, and I'm looking at it from this aspect. Everybody, the average citizen in the state of Georgia, don't really know these high school football players. They see the AJC Super 11 because they're in color, in black and white, in that special edition of the Sunday paper, right? So that's why I'm focusing on the AJC Super 11. They know them. Their faces out there. Their story is out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the average citizen, the average business owner who may not care nothing about football, sitting there reading the paper. Oh, snap. Huh, he's in my area. Or he's nearby. Let me reach out. That's how I'm looking at it. The top 50 recruits, when you start getting down to that when you start expanding that number like that, now you start looking at people who's actually paying attention to high school football. They know these kids, know what they're doing, know their stat line, know when they're graduating, all that stuff. Now you get into a more smaller audience of people that can actually find these kids.
Mm.
That's why I'm focused on the AJC Super 11 and focusing on that only because those are the ones that's put out there throughout the entire state.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Causey. How are you tonight? Tick wants you to expound, Mr. Cloud, to your previous comment. Shantae says, as it should start off local. Y'all are already being negative. They are 16-year-old kids. What's
How am
going
I
on?
being?
Go ahead,
I'm
man.
trying.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm being negative about it. I'm saying majority of it is going to be local, with the exception of the AJC Super 11, who will probably go state, who will be open to statewide NIL deals.
What's going on, Mr. Robert? Jeremy says college is going to cost a couple of thousand per month. Taking that NIL deal is going to be a huge risk.
And I don't think so. It's a
Charles
risk for
Andrews,
the business. I'll put it like that. It's a risk for the business, not for the athlete.
yeah, but if their goal is to invest and make money off of it, a lot of them are just doing it to get the kid to play. Charles Andrew Sneed says, bingo, they want the kid. They'll pay you to play over there. And welcome to the podcast. Tick says,
I got to stop him right there.
okay.
Once again, they cannot, what you're advocating or what your statement is saying, they can't, nobody can be played there you go. That's the line I'm looking for right there.
The compensation is not contingent on specific athletic performance or achievement.
And
the compensation is not provided as an incentive to enroll or remain enrolled at a specific school. Yeah. Okay.
So those are two things that people gonna have to find a way to get around. I know they can. It's easy to walk in on. I know it's easy to walk in the locker room and pass an envelope. Man, it's easy to dap somebody up at the end of the game on the field and slide them $50 or $100. It happened to me, so it's cool. I get it. It's ways around that. But we just gonna pretend we're in a perfect world, everybody by the rules and the laws, it ain't supposed to happen.
Yes. Tick says, I think it will definitely affect recruiting. D'Angelo
hold on. There is no recruiting going on in high school football. People just get transfers.
Okay. Anyway, D'Angelo says, can you post this information on the page? We certainly can. Make sure that happens, Mike.
No,
How you
we
doing?
can't.
Huh? Oh, okay.
I know it's actually in our group, in our brother group, in our sister group.
Yeah.
So But we'll post on the page for you after the show.
What's going on, Mr. Sellers? How are you? Dante says, why would the kids have to notify the principal if they can't use, show, or mention their school?
That's a question there for GHSA.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I think it's good to let the school know what's going on out of courtesy, and I think that's just part of it.
Yeah. But again, these kids that are getting into these NIL deals, I know it's different from college, but I want to stress that they need to have somebody that they can trust to look over whatever paperwork they're going to sign, because y'all remember that kid out of Florida that agreed to basically sign his life away. And
NFL and future NFL earnings.
Yes.
And that's the type of thing. And that's the type of thing you just want multiple eyes on these contracts. That's a good thing. Now that you brought that up, to have multiple eyes on these contracts, it's a good thing because your parents, us as parents, we may not understand the language that's in there. Hopefully, an administrator may understand language. If not, you definitely take it to a lawyer, have them look at it before being signed.
Mm-hmm. D'Angelo says every kid in Georgia will not make the Super 11. Danny, what's going on, Danny? How are you? Wesley says, Jess, if I knew you were a tax professional, I would have hollered at you a long time ago. I just got out of IRS debt collection. And that's exactly what I did for the IRS, sir. That's exactly what I did. I settled your debt for less than what you owed. Or I would take your stuff. Let's see. Yep, I come knock on your door. And if you owe taxes, I knock on your door, come in your business and look at all your stuff. I don't do that anymore though. D'Angelo said, also everyone doesn't even follow the AJC. They don't, and D'Angelo, but the Super 11 is statewide. So
they on the news, everything.
If they make the AJC Super 11, they'll know, and they're going to be popular wherever they are. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but it is the largest newspaper in the state, and if somebody in your area makes the AJC Super 11, everybody in that area is going to know about it. D'Angelo says it will benefit smaller businesses. Only certain players will get those major deals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Tick says, I'm speaking of colleges using it to sway recruits.
We already know that happens. Hell, look at Texas A&M. All
right. Jeremy says, are y'all doing rankings today or later in the week? They will be later on this evening.
They will be today.
What's going on, Dro? He says some people will be snitching to the GHSA on about any NIL improprieties. That's true.
I know Nugs will.
Antoine says no recruiting. Yeah, that's right. No recruiting. House Bill 5250. Bonafide moves only. What's going on, Christopher? He says the NIL is going to help with recruiting. It's going to happen. D'Angelo says entertainment lawyer. But at some point, though, and I do want these kids to look at to get these people, but at some point, will the cost that you're going to pay the lawyer outweigh what you're going to get?
Well, that's the thing. You're not hiring the lawyer to represent you. You're hiring the lawyer to review a legal document.
I get that, but how much are they going to charge for that? If I get $500 and you charge me $300, what's the point?
Well, you go find somebody else and talk and ask them about a free consultation. I'm just saying, do your parents, us as that parent, that guardian, got to do your research. You know what I'm saying? We just ain't gonna we don't know the ins and outs. I haven't dealt with it, so I really can't tell you. But do your due diligence as you should be doing.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Tick says the notification is meant to prevent any improprieties. Jeremy says, "Drop me in a Lambo and throw 100,000 my way, then I'm good." Not in high school, you'll never see that. And
No.
listen, all these kids in small town USA, right? Imagine you being in Appleton County, you driving to school in a Lambo, honey. Everybody in a 100-mile radius will be telling on you. Come on. Charles says, South Georgia snitches for free.
Ah. Ooh, they finna come at your neck.
But no, everybody's agreeing. Shantae says for real. Tick says it's gonna fund these bonus fied moves. That's right. They bonus fied, not bona fide. You so smart. You're so smart, Antonio. You must have
I
gone to
see
Fort
what you
Valley.
I see what you did there. I see what you
Yeah.
did there.
You must have gone to Fort Valley State. I do believe he did. He's so intelligent. Pedro says you better read and understand that fine print and legalese. That is true. Welcome, Christopher. Oh, congratulations to you played for Cairo. Y'all win Friday night?
I
Um,
think that yeah, I think they did.
okay, congratulations on your win Friday night. He says money has taken over high school sports, and it's sad. Cash rules everything around me.
Man, what and that's what it's about to be for these high school superstars. What
I
you paying me?
mean,
I'll come play for you. What you paying me?
we
My
pointed
family is
out,
willing to make a bona fide move.
yeah, we pointed out what it's about, but I mean, do you agree with it? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? I see people pointing out what's going to happen, but do you all think that it's a good thing or a bad thing? They should have never opened up this can of worms, or these kids deserve to get paid for all this, running up and down the field they do.
No,
Here's my thing.
no.
I'm
Hey,
with you
yo,
on this. No, I'm with you on this. No, and here's my thing. And here's my reason why. One, unlike college, you really are an amateur at the sport. That's number one. Number two, ha- you're how do I put this? Basically, straight up, you're still being developed and learning the basics of the game and finding yourself on that field.
My
Um,
thing, my
at the
thing
end,
is totally, my thing is totally this. High
man, can I
school.
finish? Man,
I'm
speaking
sorry,
in.
but I've been
God
kind of
damn,
quiet and balling
I
in the
know.
background. Can't really talk. So
I know.
I'm gonna say this.
I finna get to your point. I finna get to
Okay,
your point here in a second.
go right
But
ahead.
at the end of the day, these majority, 95% of these kids is getting a free public education, not having to worry about any bills as far as attending school. In no way, such form or fashion. Now, don't get me wrong. In certain areas, some kids do have to do what they have to do to help take care of the family. So it may come in handy there. But at the end of the day, these are high school kids. Majority of them can't even vote. So why are we paying them to come advertise for me because they play a sport that they're still trying to learn?
yeah, and this is what I didn't they haven't addressed. So what if you have a local restaurant or a local bar or something like that? Will this kid be able to promote something that sells liquor? Or what about
Nope.
the local strip club?
Nope. Here you go, right?
Oh, okay.
No. They're limited to what they can do.
I see it now. I see it now.
I sent this
Okay.
to y'all yesterday to read.
I had other shit to do. I mean, I'm
I know,
sorry.
right? Me too. I was watching football and worried about my fantasy football yesterday.
It was a very long weekend. I was tired.
Yeah,
Uh
but nah.
Tick says mess around and be doing commercials for the local meat house and you 40 years old. Um Antonio Ivy, welcome to the podcast. He says, I think the GHSA just jumped in just to try to keep up with the new wave.
uh yes and no. If you actually read the AJC article, damn, what's his name down there? Doctor what?
Dr. Hines?
Yeah, he actually made a statement on that, and the thing was, it's not that he jumped the gun. He wanted, and I'm speaking below the Bible Belt, okay? Y'all understand geography and all that stuff. But below the Bible Belt, he wanted to set the standard and set and establish that bar for everybody else to follow. In so many words, is what he said.
Mm-hmm. D'Angelo says you're on a platform right now: Facebook, IG, TikTok, social media. Um,
Man, I'm drunk, man. You can't hold my drunk talk against me.
Jeremy says cut the small talk, now get to the ranking. No, you don't
We will in due
dictate.
time.
You don't dictate nothing on here, little boy. And if you keep it up, I'm gonna block you. So shut up. Danny says, I do not agree with this because the players will begin to have an ego, and if not paid what they are worth, they will determine okay. And if not paid what they are worth, will determine if a high school will have a football team to play for in the season.
Man, it's a small population. Danny, it's going to be a very small pool population of high school athletes that's going to get or that's going to draw interest for an NIL deal.
D'Angelo is saying, no, I'm saying that's what they're going to use the kids for, not you. They understand the power of social media.
And that's possible. But at the same time, though, again, D'Angelo, look at it from this standpoint. You're a business owner. You you got a soul food. You got a wing joint in your hometown. Yes, go get that local high school star on the football, basketball, track star. Have them dress up in their school colors, but no logos, right? And have them advertise your business. Now, you're gonna run a local commercial, maybe once a day, or you're gonna spend the money for somebody to throw you out there on social media.
Okay.
It's only gonna benefit you locally. I'm just saying because anybody outside, majority of folks outside of that city probably not gonna know who that kid is. Definitely nobody outside the state gonna really know who that kid is.
Okay. Can I talk now?
Yes, you can talk.
Man, did you blow your nose?
Well, it's hell right now. Okay. Now, I'm just going to tell you why this is just the most horrific idea I've ever heard of. Let's.
My friend.
Shit, excuse me.
I
Let's
know
just
what's
put
wrong with him. It ain't got no gas.
this. Let's just put this in perspective. Let's say Leesburg, just for an example. What restaurant, business owner, anything in Leesburg is going to pay a stud running back at Lee County any kind of money to advertise for them? Just give me an example.
Well, they got Carter's fried chicken down there.
Okay, now here's the thing. A town like Leesburg, everybody and their mama knows about Carter's fried chicken. Also, Crumo going over there doing advertising for them is not going to get anybody in Lee County to eat more Carter's chicken than they already been damn eating. Tell me what town. Just go down there and just imagine in your head your hometown. I hear you talking about car dealerships. Tell me what somebody in the market to buy a car, knowing a high school football player that gonna influence him to go buy a car. Like, tell me where anything that you go through on a daily basis, a high school football player, even as a stud, gonna persuade you to do anything.
That's a good
So,
point.
It's
so,
just that.
so this NIL deal is not to do whatever it is that they're talking about. This NIL deal is, I think, GHSA way of trying to even the playing field on a small county market and a big city market when it comes to kids in schools and people, boosters and all of that, being able to do things for kids that they normally wouldn't have done.
That's what
Now that's exactly what it is. If I go to a Peach County game and my quarterback just threw for 400 yards and I say I want to give him this right here because I'm a business owner of Middle Georgia Sales and Service to say hey for me because he just looked damn good, guess what? Now I can give him this money and it's all legal now and legit without any kind of consequences and repercussions. That's what this is about.
Okay. Let me read a couple of these comments and then let me ask a question. D'Angelo says that's a lie. The power of social media. Um, let's see. I'm sorry. The power of social media will make certain people come to that town. Christopher Wilson said that chicken is good. Pedro said that Maryland fried chicken in Dublin can make it work. Tick says, I wish this was around in 2022 before my son graduated. His nickname was Waffle House. It sure was because he was open
Man,
24/7. Jason said, I mean, Jason. Jeremy says Woody Folsom definitely gonna get in on this some kind of way. Listen, I don't know if you all have ever gone down through East Georgia and gone down 341. Once you hit around get past Eastman, all you gonna see is Woody Folsom. I believe that man owned everything from backslid down to Brunswick. I mean he is everywhere. So you're right, Jeremy. Roscoe says facts, and as an entrepreneur, in order for us to get a tax break, the NIL collective has to have 501c3 status. Oh, okay. Uh, Danny Jones says these kids are playing for the chance to make this kind of money. Some of these players can barely handle the exposure they are getting now. Now they want to pay them to play football. What will be the standard for the kids on the education level? I don't know.
no
Ken
pass, no play.
Ken says, why? Woody already sells all the vehicles for miles around that area. Doesn't need the help. That's the
Thank
point,
you.
Ken.
That's the whole point that I'm
That's the
saying.
point.
No local, nothing. Like it's a cover up. And y'all will see. Y'all will
It,
see.
that's a point, Ken. He doesn't need it, but that is a way for him to justify keeping a kid in Baxley or keeping a kid in Jessup that might want to go over to Alma or something like that. That's an incentive. No, he Woody Folsom on everything over there. He does not need any help with anything, but that's a way for him to use his platform or to, like Yo said. Um, and Tunzel says 5 Star is going to get in on it in Middle Georgia. They certainly will. I agree with all that. This is my question though. So
Hmm.
the kid, and then we can move on whenever you're ready. But
Hmm.
I have a question. So the kid can't wear the school colors and all this other, and they can't represent the school or whatever with the
Hmm.
NIL deals. So sometimes at Peach County games, and you look on the board, they have a lot of commercials. So can that kid playing in a high school that's playing in high school right now, they're in the commercial, say for say Critter Fixers, um, and Critter Fixers has a commercial that plays during the game. Will that be a violation if this kid is on there promoting Critter Fixers, who, by the way, doesn't need any help either? Would that
No,
be considered a violation?
no.
How do you interpret that?
No member school facility may be used for the purpose of name, image, and likeness activities.
Now,
So
the way I interpret that is, as long as it's recorded off campus,
yeah,
we good.
yeah.
Now, where
And
you replay that, it ain't got nothing to do with where it's being played at. So it
Okay.
should be fine.
okay.
Oh,
Again, this is all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be passing out $100 bills like a mug.
Middle Georgia Sales and Services.
Yep. I'm gonna be making these kids go out. Hey, you have 5 catches for 150 yards. Guess what? You getting some money, and it's all legal now. That's all this is about. If y'all can't see that, y'all can keep talking about advertising and all of that. But again, ain't no local high school kid got no kind of pull. I don't care if he's Super 11. That car ain't gonna make nobody do nothing in Moultrie that they ain't already doing. Ain't no way you gonna tell me I'm sitting here looking at this car dealership and this car dealership, and because car is advertising this one, oh well, I'm gonna go over here. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. We adults. We got to be smarter than that. That has nothing to do with no advertising. It's all about giving these kids money without any fallback.
Welcome Hawk. He says he's right. They want to give kids money without penalty. Um,
Same thing in college. Giving kids without penalty.
Jeremy says
Hey,
it's too many rules. I might drop $100,000 check if Apple win the championship. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
I'm talking
I
about
know.
Iowa.
I know. He said exactly. I agree with the coffin dude.
You
Glad
serious?
we not in the same room right now.
Ooh, Obadiah said, to be honest, the NIL deal is another way to get a kid to go to a certain school. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, this is just beginning. We're gonna see how it all plays out, and if certain people start fussing about it, then you'll see this being tweaked. But for right now, we're in wait and see mode. So it's here, guys. Whether you want it to be or not, it's here. So with that being said, we have a buddy. We have our buddy in the building. What's going on, Mr. Wizard?
Can I get my theme music?
You have to
Can I
ask Thirsty about that. He running the boards tonight.
Thirsty? Can I get my theme music?
Man, y'all know this is BS, right? For him to ask me that, right?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Just come on. So he's got something to do. So come on.
I'm going to hibernation. Get that man his music.
It's Monday. That means it's time for the Wizard's Corner. Let's see if anybody was successful over the weekend beating the Wizard. I doubt it.
Boy, that witch gonna stand by her man,
I
ain't
was
she?
about to say it's the little cackle for me.
Pedro said,
24/7.
Pedro said, who he think he is? Prime? Ooh. Jeremy said I should have used 2 accounts for the pickums. Uh-huh.
You
Hell, you got
already
50.
have.
Leave it to you. I bet you already did.
So how we doing tonight, Pee?
Keith Stewart.
Hello, Wizard. What happened here?
Ooh.
Macon County is what happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, you didn't know they had some kids out. They had a lot of injuries. You didn't know that, I'm assuming.
No. And then Lanier County and Aquinas, Lincoln County. What happened, Lincoln? You had one job.
Why did you think they were gonna be the Aquinas?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was probably on that perk.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Macon County will bounce back once they get those kids back from injury. You'll see a different Bulldog team.
But
Okay,
I did improve.
so that's D2. Oh, you did good in D1. You would have gone perfect had Mary Person not stopped your momentum.
PAC. 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 What happened?
Mary Persons happened.
No, Duke Watson happened.
Oh,
There you
Duke
go.
Watson. Okay, yeah,
Duke
Duke
Watson.
Watson. If you can't stop him, you won't beat Mary Persons. Why did I think at one point? I think they got the score wrong at one point. They were saying that Irwin County was beating Swainsboro, but that was wrong. So I see that's right.
Does anybody know what's going on with Irvin County?
Mr. Sneed is from Irwin County. Mr. Sneed, are you still on? Let us know what's going on down there in Irwin County. Danny asks, do the football programs have the rights to decide where the championship game is played at the end of the season? No, they do
No.
not. Dro says he'll be back soon. He can't be on tonight. Duke Watson rushed for 5 touchdowns, if he's not mistaken. Dro says Irwin County is probably rebuilding. Jeremy says they're leaving a trail of tears, whoever he's talking about. And yes, Danny, Mary Persons is playing great this season. Let's go on to 2A.
So,
Good job.
thank you, Appleton County, for handling business.
Boo.
Even if the field goal was good or not. Thank you.
Okay, so Callaway doesn't look like they missed too much by losing those kids. Those 4 kids.
They played Columbia.
Oh, yeah, there's that. I thought Columbia was getting better, though.
That was last year.
Clearly. I thought they were building something. So the kids at Gresham Park still decided to head over to Ellenwood. But I'm going to be quiet.
The only thing they building is a new weight room. Okay.
AAA.
I'm glad Sandy Creek got exposed.
Harris County ain't a bad team, though.
You disappointed me big time.
You didn't disappoint me, Carver, Atlanta.
Hey, Mr. Wizard, your 10 game. I think I came on late during the show Wednesday and I asked you about that 10 game. You want to tell me about that game?
Huh?
Yeah.
We gotta figure out how to get this
Gotta
money
figure
by
out how
tomorrow.
to get this money by tomorrow.
Jeremy
But
wants to know
anyway.
how's Toombs County 6-0. There must be a powerhouse. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't expect. You know what? Tune in Wednesday, and I'll tell you what I think about Toombs County this coming Friday.
Okay.
Or A. Predicted perfectly. I gotta pat myself on the back.
So New Hampstead played Benedictine pretty close. Mr. Warriors, are you still on here? Okay. So yeah, tell us. I want you to tell us about that game if you can, because was it that Benedictine just started off slow, or your quarterback is a real deal? And he says, can't wait for y'all to discuss the mighty Benedictine in 4A, Mr. Warriors. Rashawn True put them on notice. 533 paying 4 touchdowns. Rashawn, is that the quarterback? Let us know. Because you did big up New Hampstead, and then they played somebody and kind of wet the bed, so people didn't really think about them. But y'all played Benedictine pretty close. So big ups. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ola. You had the game. All you had to do was finish. That would have been perfect. Have a chance to redeem yourself. Definitely have a chance to redeem yourself on Friday.
Okay, hold on. Let me address this really quick, Mr. Wizard. Antoine says the score was 29-12 at the half, and they came back strong. Who is they? Who was 29? Who was up? Was it Benedictine, and then New Hampstead came back? And who had the costly turnovers? Okay. And with regard to what you said about Ola, Mr. Wizard, I keep saying this. Y'all have got to, if you're going to beat Warner Robins, you got to put them away and keep your foot on the gas, because they're going to start out slow every time. But if you let them hang around, they're going to come back. And if you can't finish, you're going to be sitting there looking crazy. So to anybody out there that's got to play them, do not let up off the gas. Just don't. So let's see. New Hampstead had
I totally agree with you on Warner Robins.
Okay. Wow, Benedictine was up 29-12. And then New Hampstead came back. But they had 2 costly turnovers. And had they not had that, they very well could have beat Benedictine. Wow. Okay, let's go on to 6A. I'm sorry.
All I'm just gonna start riding with Lee County. It's 2 years in a row. They got me again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna Lee County. I'm jumping on your bandwagon. Making room for me.
And let's see. Shout out to Thomas County Central for holding veterans to 7. Was the wide receiver hurt for veterans?
0.
Oh, 0 to nothing to no points. I think Prentice was out, right? I mean, that might have made some difference. I don't like I
Well,
said.
from what I saw and heard, majority of their points came from like special teams and defense. Shout out to my daddy.
Shout out to Daddy.
Shout out.
Good
So
job.
yeah, y'all got the juice. Been saying it. Hate to say it, but I've been saying it.
I know. Doesn't it hurt your feelings?
Not as
Every
much as
time
they think it do. I
every
really
time I
gotta
talk
just
about
punch some
Perry,
people opposed to them thinking that I'm really that hurt. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, you just want to punch them because you don't like them.
period.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with TCC. But yeah, it put something in my
Did
mouth
I,
every time I got to say something nice about Perry. But I'm a
did I
truth
miss?
teller, so that's what I got to do. No, you can't finish.
Did I miss
Uh,
something? Did I miss something? What y'all
you
talking about?
nothing. Just we not going there, Mr. Wilson.
Y'all
Just let
being
it go.
messy.
Ken says, why y'all talking about all these other schools? You know this show is all about TCC.
It definitely
That's,
isn't. We don't do that up here.
that's what you want, baby. But no.
This ain't your cup of tea.
You get a comprehensive view of Georgia high school football on the Friday Night Lights podcast show.
Oh,
Obadiah
wait a
says,
minute. Wait a minute. So Preston Bird was out.
yes.
Man, y'all better be quiet, man. Man, go on. Let me mute my mic.
You
These
just
folks talking like they
heard
don't
it.
beat. They just bad wide receiver in middle Georgia, and he out, and they talking about. Man, I'll mute my mic.
I think the quarterback was a quarterback hurt too. Somebody let me know that. But yeah, he was out. It's happening. Yellow Jackets is happening. Jeremy said, delete your page, bro. We don't discuss those type of teams. He turning, y'all. He turning every time. He gonna do it. You thought he was a Yellow Jacket earlier this season, didn't you? Here you go. Here you go. Y'all better be ready. Danny says this region is quite entertaining this year. It is anybody's championship to hold up in victory. Not according to the analysts on this show. They say they already know the order. Hawk says you're a jack dog, sis.
I am not. I'm a bulldog through and through. My blood, sweat, and tears earned me a red and gold letterman jacket, not a blue one.
Jeremy says next man up, no excuses. That's right. Ken says TCC knocked the quarterback out. He was there, but he got injured. Okay.
All right.
Jeremy said I thought he was talking about the bulldog. No, you didn't. Stop.
You
Stop
shouldn't
telling
even be
lies.
speaking on them. Don't let your fingers type those letters again.
And there's that on that. So let's with Mr.
Oh,
Wilson, we're sorry. Let's go to 7A.
in 7A. Thank you, Newton. You had one job and you did it well. I appreciate you.
Shout out to Grave Diggers.
Shout out to the Grave Diggers, Newton County
So,
Rams.
for the week and the season, I got 83% of my picks correct for the week, going 58 12. And on the season, I'm still okay.
Okay,
Now,
let's go.
who's trying to take my money in December? And this
Baby. You a little shaky in the pickums. I mean, it's awesome that you overall you're doing a phenomenal job, but the pickums a little shaky.
man, I don't know what it is. I go through 8 classes, 80 games a week. And I'm barely getting 60% of them correct. It don't make sense to me. I don't get it. I need some more perk. My cut.
Dro- Dro says don't overlook how huge that road win was for Peach against Carver Atlanta. I agree. All I
Oh,
want to see is Martin improvement every week, and I see that. So, you know,
yes, ma'am. So for the leaderboard, I don't know who this Yo Soy guy is, but Keith Stewart, I'm gonna need for you to do better than what you did this past week.
That's your witch friend. She know me.
I'm sure Jeremy will do better.
So these are how we're standing at the halfway mark. Still got 50 more games to go. 60. Yeah, 60 games to go.
But here's the thing: let's see, it's 9 games. So if somebody misses a week, either the ones in the bottom 3, they have a chance to maybe make it into the top 5. I wonder if O'Neal just stopped playing. Where is my buddy?
I just showed you the pick 'em, Obadiah.
He didn't see it.
That's the pick 'em. Right here.
Are you asking for week 8, Mr. Farley? Let's see. Ken says veterans offensive line could not block TCC's 4-man D line. Didn't even have to blitz.
Lies. Lies. Lies and garbage. Lies and garbage.
Did you fly over the game in Perry to see that?
Yes. You know what they was doing? Blitzing from the weak side.
And Perry, they couldn't block Perry either. And Bird still had 6 touchdowns. Like, it's a difference with that man on the field. Be lucky that y'all ain't have to face him.
With that being said, y'all think veterans will get the 4th seed in Region 1?
You know what? I'm going to step myself away from this conversation, and I'm going to get back to my boo.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Wizard. Make sure you come back and see us Wednesday so you can give us our predictions for week 8. Okay?
Will do.
Thank you.
Y'all stay safe. Where my gangster boo?
Y'all tell Wizard bye in podcast land. Y'all tell him goodbye. How you
Good
doing,
night,
Jamie?
Wizard.
Good night, gangster boo.
What's going on, Jamie? What's going on? Obadiah wants to know what your biggest upsets from each classification were this past Friday.
Man, he said each class. Dang, we gotta go through all 8 classes. How about just in general? How about just one? Can I give you just one?
And it'll probably be the same one as ours.
I'm just not seeing thirsty headline.
Yeah, you must have been focused. He told us.
It was a lipstick cover.
What did it say?
He said
I don't like mud ducks.
So
my biggest upset out of the whole week was, and to me it's not really upset, but for everybody else, Sandy Creek losing.
Oh, I would go with Grayson and Newton County.
It was expected. When you're a 21-point favorite and you lose, that says a lot about your team.
Yeah, Grayson and Newton. The Wizard didn't compare all rankings to the AJC this week.
Y'all about to do that now.
So we're gonna do that
don't
first.
Do that.
You want to do that with me first? Well, let us do this first.
Me and you do that. The Wizard ain't got nothing to do with the rankings.
It's the cold medicine. It's the cold medicine, and mixing that with him eating anything today, and a little shot of that Jack that I took to try to knock this up out of me. So blame it on that, bro.
Okay.
You don't have an appetite, or you just hadn't been out to get something?
I went and got something, babe, and I just couldn't eat it. So April brought me some soup. I'm gonna try to eat me some soup once we get done.
Yes, please try that. Okay. Let's see. Ken said, let me read these real quick. Al said, what did I miss? A lot. Ken says it depends on the quarterback injury. If he returns, then I guess he's talking about veterans. If the quarterback returns, then veterans will be the 4th seed. 1 Lee TCC winner. Number 2 Lee TCC loser. 3 Hoko and 4 veterans. Okay. And Jamie wants to know what's a good game to go to this weekend.
Come back on Wednesday and we'll tell you.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
No. Come back on Wednesday and we'll tell you a good game to go to on Friday.
Based on your location.
Or Thursday. Because you got some games Thursday and Friday this weekend.
Okay, but you'll know on Wednesday.
For sure. All right. Yo, you still all right. So the way we present our rankings, AJC on the left, the right rankings, being FNL rankings, is on the right. I didn't know he accidentally fell off. All right. So again, the way we do this and present it to you guys is AJC rankings on the left because they be way out there somewhere. The right rankings, being the FNL rankings, are on the right. So as you're looking at the screen, that's where they are. Okay. So, Sly County, no questions, undoubtedly, right now favored to win D2 with, for us, Clinch County contesting them. Okay. Um, the biggest difference between our poll and their poll really is none. It's just a matter. We all have the same teams. It's just a matter of how we rank them. So we dropped down a few weeks ago. We just brought them back in after a good win that they had over this past weekend. But for the most part, we have the same teams in the top 10. It's just a different order.
Yes. They have Greene County up at number 2, where they were number 2 last week too. Okay.
Yeah. We have them at number 6 on our poll for the simple fact, we see what Greene County is doing. The thing is, can you maintain it as you go through region play? And when you look at Greene County and you begin to go through their so-called resume, their schedule, you begin to question yourself, or you begin to question Greene County if they can handle it. So, because we know Greene County is going to have to play Warren County, Lincoln County, and Acquaintance. Well, not Warren County, but Lincoln County and Acquaintance. You got to play those two in your region. Can you get through those two teams? And right now, for us, we don't feel like Greene County can really beat anybody that's above them in the poll.
Okay.
Yo, you got anything you want to add to this?
I'm just waiting for a certain ranking. I'm cool with anything now.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me read some of these comments. Let's see. Jamie wants you to ride with him to Forsyth, Georgia, and apparently y'all going up there to the Big Chick because won't nobody be there. Mayor Persis.
Hold on, whoa. He said Forsyth County or Forsyth, Georgia?
Forsyth, Georgia. He's talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I'll ride down there with you.
Yeah, to Forsyth, Georgia, and I think I know what he's getting at. But if he's talking about riding up there this week, he gonna be riding. I guess he going to the Big Chick or something because ain't nobody gonna be there. But Go on up there and waste your gas. Danny says, does the podcast see anyone defeating Schley County for the championship? At this juncture, no, but anything can happen. Obadiah wants everybody out in podcast land to know if you have trouble seeing the rankings, turn your phone to the left to see it clearly. Morris says Warren County is next up, and you are Jenkins County, if I'm not mistaken, right, Mr. Shields? Let me know who you are. Or are you Stockbridge? I can't remember. My brain is foggy too. It's been a long weekend. Um, More, Mr. Shields, you said something about Decatur versus Arabian Mountain being a good game. I was gonna mention that when we got
Man, that's
closer to
Decatur.
the
Man, Decatur.
yeah, yeah, because last night I was curious because Arabian Mountain, you don't see Arabian Mountain being undefeated, and then I saw who they played, and I was like, oh, okay, and so
We
now they're about to
hold on.
run
What's
some.
that? What's that? 4A or 5A? I can't remember. But when we get to that class, we can bring that. We can bring that.
Yeah,
We
that's
can
what I
have
was
that
saying.
conversation.
I was trying to wait to that.
Yeah, we can have that
Jamie,
conversation.
Nothing's going on in Forsyth unless you want to ride with him to the big chick. But I mean, that's up to you. What's going on, Mr. Tully? He says our rankings are valid on 1AD2.
Thank you.
Oh, more,
Appreciate it.
more, more. Thank you. We appreciate that. Morris says he's from Covington. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm up there quite a bit. Um, Dan Jones says Swainsboro is playing some great football this season with a chip on their shoulder from last year's championship game. We'll get to you with regard to that. You have one of our analysts that have Prince Avenue Christian winning it all, and then you have another one that says Swainsboro is going to
Yep,
win it.
Swainsboro gonna be feeling the same way again after come December 10th or 11th, one of them days.
So now
Yeah.
you can guess who's rooting for who. Yeah, you can guess now. Morris says Arabia Mountain is 5A.
Okay, so when we get to 5A, we'll talk about Arabia Mountain and what our discussion was about them last night as we were doing our rankings. So we did actually look at them, gave them a thorough review, and came to a consensus on them. So we'll go back on that. All right, D1. We dropped PAC for the simple fact of one, it was a game that we felt they were favored in and lost it. Should have won it. So that's why we dropped PAC one spot. Only one spot. Because we all still feel that they are one of the teams in D1 that's going to be in the finals. That's going to be playing in Atlanta, along with Swainsboro. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Let's see.
When it comes to the AJC poll, Treon, we have them on our poll. I have no problem with them being on the poll. My problem is we was like, who was this Tryon team from last year, right? Came out just came in making ruckus, got in the playoffs, and let us down. So we need for Tryon to show that they can sustain. Sustainment is what we need from them. So we're not going to move them as high as the AJC. Raven County is in a good place on both polls. Blakely County, Everett County, okay, cool. The biggest difference right now is we have Bryan County on our poll. They're promoting commerce. Mm-hmm. It's going to work from 5, and real talk, from number 5 on down, it's going to end up working itself out anyway because if I'm not mistaken, 2 of those top 5 teams are going to end up playing each other anyway in the region. If I'm not mistaken, between Blakely and Elbert, I think. No. Was that it? But I can't remember everything. My mind bad at time.
Say it again.
No. Elbert is going to end up playing Raven County. That's what it is. Elbert County has to play Raven County soon in the region, in region play. So that's going to help sort that out, right? And then when it comes to Blakely County is in the region with Swainsboro and Dublin. Yes. So that's going to end up sorting that out for those three teams, which we all expect Swainsboro to win the region. Blackley take second place, Dublin coming in third is what I'm projecting and expecting to see happen.
Jeremy says Swainsboro has speed, but they're not conditioned. Jay says Greene County has been 6-0, 6-5, 4-6, and 2-9. Can they sustain for a season or more than one season in the rankings? Yeah, because I remember they were good a couple of years ago, and then they kind of fell off, and it looks like they're back. Whit says I'm from Thomas County Central High School in Thomasville, Georgia, but we prefer to be called the county. Okay.
Are we supposed to remember that?
We can try.
Okay.
We can try.
Good. Okay, we're gonna try. That's the best we can give you.
Let's see.
All
so,
right.
Anybody have any more comments about Division 1? Okay.
All right, Class 2. I do want to say this, Thompson. Based off of this upcoming weekend, is going to dictate whether or not you stay at number 1. And I'm saying that because Affleck County is playing the number 10 team in Class 2A that we have ranked at number 10. AJC has them ranked at number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Thompson, the rest of your schedule is not appealing at all. I would give you Putnam, but for the most part, your remaining schedule is not appealing. If Appling handles business on Friday, I can see you getting leapfrog and dropping down to number 2 because Appling County will have a better resume than you.
Unless
at the end of the day.
Unless they just beat everybody at 80-0, then
I mean, at this point, it's not even about the points; it's about the resume. And Apple has more appealing wins right now than Thompson. Mm-hmm. Thompson is holding on to number 1 by the hairs on their chin and chin.
Okay. But they are handling business. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get it.
Yeah.
This is one of the most exciting classifications in Georgia this year. I mean,
and I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Pierce County, we had to drop you. We only dropped you 1 spot. For the most part, both poll top 5s are the same. We just got Appling. I mean, not Appling, but Pierce, Northeast, and Callaway in different positions. All right, I still feel Pierce is a top 14 in 2A. They just need to ride out the rest of the schedule and definitely handle business against Toombs. Because that is their only other threat on their schedule along with Apple.
That's going to be a good game. Let's see. Let me see some of these comments. Whitwood says, y'all know who we are. Y'all just forgot. Ma'am, I'm from Middle Georgia. I know you as Thomas County Central. When you say the county, that could be any of the 159 counties in the state of Georgia. So, I will try. Let me finish again. Okay. I will try to call you the county. But it's not about forgetting. I know you as I know you. So if I call you Thomas County Central or the county, you know who I'm talking about. So that's
I'm gonna say my comment for 6A. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say my comment when we get to 6A.
It's 159 counties. Y'all ain't don't want to call the county, I'm sure. Jamie says, give me Appling for state. She doesn't have to be quiet, Obadiah. She can say whatever it is she feels she needs to say. Who doesn't move the needle for you, Jamie? Let us know.
What did they put some respect on her? You know what? I put some respect on your name when you at least make it to a final. I don't even want you to win the final. Just make it to a final.
Child, that's Jeremy.
I know that. That's why I'm saying it. How many finals? How many finals has Appling County been to?
Not one.
That's the trick. You know what? That's the question of the day.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That is Jeremy. So he's calling himself a yellow jacket right now. He just full of shit.
No, damn
Um,
that. Damn that. The question of the day is how many championship games has Allen County been to? That's what I'm saying. You make it the one, we'll put some respect on your name.
but that ain't who he's talking about, though. He's not talking about
Shit.
Alpha. He's talking about
That's what I'm
the
talking about.
county. But he's talking about
Oh.
the county. You
We'll deal
know.
with them when we get to 6A. No more county talk, no more country talk, whatever they call themselves. We'll talk about it when we get to 6A. So,
Okay. James says Thompson is who doesn't move the needle for him.
Thompson, and I'm with you on that. For me, Thompson doesn't move the needle either because primarily because of their resume, their schedule. It doesn't move the needle for me. So,
We'll
but
see.
that's why I say, even if they do ride out and go 9-1, I can see them getting leapfrogged by Appleton after this weekend.
Okay, let's
As
go
long,
to
all right,
3A.
3A. Okay. Where we at? 3A there and 3A there. 1, 2, 3. All right. AJC and us. Mayor Persons. You jump 4 spots with the after beating PAC. Quality win on your resume. For sure. That's the best win on your resume so far. Now, upcoming week, you're starting.
No, they beat number 3 Northeast and 2A also. So
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But when you compare the two teams, which one is the best quality win?
definitely PAC, but I'm just saying they beat Fitzgerald, who was ranked number 1 at the time. So Northeast has some quality. I mean, Mayor Person has some quality wins.
I'm with you on that.
Jeremy, you treading on thin ice, buddy.
But
shut your ass up now.
Both Upson Lee and Mayor Persons. Now, this is the week. Both you guys get in the region play. You should win. Both you guys should win your region games this week. Mayor Persons, the spotlight will be on you October 13th, for sure. Upson Lee, the spotlight will be on you October 20th. But guess what? Both of y'all gonna be under that light October 27th when you play each other. So Upson Lee, Mayor Persons are gonna work themselves out now that they're entering region play. Sandy Creek. I asked everyone, do your due diligence. Because in the beginning of the year, all we heard was Sandy Creek, Calvary Day, and I'll throw Stevens County in there. Best teams in 3A. Calvary Day, cupcake schedule. Sandy Creek, they thought they had a cupcake schedule and done got exposed 2 of the past 3 weeks.
Who did they play? East Coweta and Harris County? Is that East Coweta they played, or is it somebody?
Yeah. East Coweta. They lost to East Coweta, which they was like a 20-some point favorite, and lost to Harris County, where they was a 20-some point favorite.
So, okay, we have a question in the comments that I'm going to address in just a minute, but podcast those in podcast land, I want you to ask yourself. Look at the AJC number 10, and they have a 2 and 4 Oconee County listed as number 10. What do you think? What do you guys think about that? And I would like to know, why is Big Chris not in your top 10?
They ain't on AJCs either. So ask them.
Hold on. I gotta answer for that. Honest, real talk. No bullshit, no sugarcoat, straight raw, not cut. I do not see Cordell County beating any team right now in the top 10. If you had to line up today, I do not see you beating any team in the top 10, whether it's the AJC poll or the Friday Night Lights poll. I just don't. Regardless of record.
Okay. Now, just kind of stole my thunder here.
I'm sorry.
Talk about on 3A. on AJC. They got a 2-4 Oconee. Now, say this so that Chris County fans don't think that we just being biased to this right here. There are several schools in 3A that's more deserving than that top 10 spot than Peach County or Oconee County. But this was the comparison that I made was Peach County and Oconee. When you look at their records, similar records, identical 2-4 records. Oconee lost 4 games to a 1-5A school, 3 4A schools, and they have beaten a 2A Putnam and a 3A the ones out there in they division.
Are you talking about a Coney right now?
Yeah, they just beat
Okay.
them Friday. It's
Yeah, Putnam and Hammer Christian.
Hammer Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Peach County lost to a 6A, a 5A, 2 4As. They beat a 4A and they beat a top 10 3A. So Peach County resume is a whole lot better than Oconee County.
But they don't
You
deserve
chose
to be in the
Oconee
top
County.
10.
I don't even think you should have chose Oconee nor Peach. Let me clarify that. This is just a comparison that us on the panel did last night while looking at rankings. There are several teams that's more deserving in that 10th spot than Peach or Oconee. But just looking at the Peach County Oconee, Peach had a better resume and they chose Oconee. So that's why you don't see Oconee in our rankings, because there are better teams that deserve that 10th ranking instead of Oconee.
Leon Walker says, what about Burke County? Burke County is 4A. We're going to get to them in just a minute. What's going on, Dwayne Little? How are you? Go Trojans. That's right, Mr. Tallard. Wesley has a question. He says, tell me who do y'all pick for the playoff dark horse, the team that will creep up and beat some of the top teams in AAA playoffs this year?
Before we get them, and y'all excuse my son in the back here, let's turn.
Hey, baby.
So I want to say something because Thomasville High is in different spots on the respective polls. Let me clarify something. Thomasville High struggled with Monroe. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. I read somewhere where somebody was saying you don't discuss the games that you're supposed to win. No, you discuss every game. And even though it was a win, it was ugly. It was sloppy. We didn't talk about it on Facebook because, again, most of us don't do that. However, you are supposed to discuss the wins because every game matters. Whether you was expected to beat the team or not. Don't ever go into a game or walk away from a game downplaying it. Because on any given Friday, anybody can go down.
Mm-hmm.
Just had to get that out there since the eyes see here. That's all.
But that's the thing, though. If they're doing their due diligence and got any bit of common sense, at the end of the day, you got a 20-point win against Monroe. So on paper, it doesn't look like you struggled. You did what you were supposed to do. You handled business. Now, as far as your losses, 6A, 5A, 4A, it is what it is. But you're putting yourselves in position to be ready to compete in your region.
Yes.
And you're playing quality competition.
Exactly. We don't cupcakes. We don't like them over here.
But that's the thing that a lot of people don't take a look at is the resume. That's why we stress the resume. A lot of teams' resumes are better than others. I.e., a lot of people have an issue with City Grove sitting up top at 2 and 4. But when you look at their resume, oh, shit, they can probably beat us. And I'm speaking of higher classification schools.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's why I always say the fans that worry about rankings, all they looking at is them alphabets. They don't care about nothing.
Wins and losses.
Wins and
That's
losses.
all.
Them W's and the L's. That's all they care about. They don't care about strength of schedule. They don't care about the resume. They don't care about injuries and stuff like that. They just look at that column. They got them alphabets, that W and that L. So that's why you have to understand who you be dealing with. Now, I heard somebody ask about surprises in 3A. It's gonna pain me to say this, but I know 3 teams right now that I would look that's not ranked that I think are hitting strides right at the right time. Well, I'll say 2 of them are hitting strides at the right time, and the third one I just think is gonna make some noise once they kind of get stuff together, and I think they will in region play. I think Carver Columbus will kind of get some stuff together in region play. You better watch out
Hmm.
for them in 3A playoffs. Peach County is hitting a stride right now. You better watch out for them. And the Chris County Cougars are making some strides right now. Now, Peach County had some things going on. They kind of worked them worms out. And should be better football being played, better camaraderie, things are kind of getting together. Now, Chris County, you beat the North Side with backup quarterback. You beat Doherty without a quarterback, and that's one of those things I was talking about when you're just looking at those alphabets. But now
Hmm.
you got to go in region play against 2 teams that's going to be heavily favored against you, and that still can warrant you for a 3rd seed. And I think Chris County is a dangerous 3rd seed in the 3A playoff bracket.
And
So
they
again,
could, and they could. I will say they can slip up and possibly beat one of the 2. So
yeah, even if they
Yeah.
did, either way, I just said them making the strides that they are. Because if anybody played football, it's a game of momentum. So to have that stuff happen to where how's it going?
uh
But
let's see.
I'm
We
gonna.
got some more questions though. Go ahead.
I know. Don't. If you're gonna talk about a school from Savannah, let it be Benedictine. If it's not Benedictine, I don't want to hear it.
I was gonna get to that, but Jeremy said Calvary Day and Savannah Christian are going to be 3rd round teams or better, but I don't
Again,
consider them dark horses though.
they're
I
not
mean,
dark horses. Exactly.
I don't consider them dark horses, but I mean, the question is, who do you think are dark horses? So, Jeremy, if that's what you think, then that's fine. Courtney says, I hope I haven't missed anything. Big Swainsboro checking in. Courtney, we just talked about Swainsboro a few minutes ago. But again, tune in Wednesday. I think that's what we need to talk about Wednesday, analysts. We need
Okay. Well,
to, just like we did Applin and Pierce last week. Let's have a debate between Prince Avenue and Swainsboro this week. How about that?
okay.
Y'all
Well,
down for that? So make sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in, Courtney, on Wednesday. Our analysts will debate why they are behind who they're behind. One is behind Prince Avenue, the other is behind Swainsboro. Obadiah says that's right. Pelham should know that because didn't they take down someone who was undefeated? Correct me if I'm wrong. They did. I can't remember who it is, but they certainly did. Ken wants to know what 518 that Thomasville lose to.
oh no,
Shakira.
I'm sorry. I correct myself. 6A, 4A, 4A. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It was
It
it was a
doesn't
lot of A,
matter. It really don't
but at
matter.
the
We're moving
same but
right
at the
along.
same time, yeah, exactly. And that's what I was gonna say. Thank
The point was made. You know exactly what he was trying to say.
Obadiah says, I disagree. Carver Columbus will not beat Thomasville High School. Well, we will certainly find out on this Friday. Jeremy says, before Benedictine became a school, Savannah Christian was making noise. And
you.
Benedictine is
Well,
not who y'all think they are.
okay. Sorry, Benedictine got formed and started and just took over the Savannah football scene. My bad.
So speaking, that's a great segue into 4A.
So 4A, we got the number 1 team correct. The problem is why the AJC ain't showing no love to pair, but they giving all the love to North Dakota. And don't get me wrong, I like North Dakota. It just when you actually look at them and you see what they pretty much stay, in they little small area. They don't really go too far. And granted, they've been in region play since September 15th. So they've been on the cakewalk since week 3 of the season or week 4 of the season. So looking at North Coney's schedule, their resume, it doesn't move the needle. It's not impressive. So Perry, Bainbridge, your resumes are better to us than North Coney. Now, granted, we don't see North Coney slipping up at all because you're talking about Cedar Shoals, East Forsyth, Walnut Grove, East Hall, and Cherokee Bluff. All games they should win by 30 points or better. But outside of that, Burke County, keep doing what you got going on down there. The only loss you should take this year is to Benedictine.
You beat them? Yeah.
Yeah. Where we at? Troop, Holy Innocents, Wayne County, Central Carolina. I really don't think we need to speak on them. Spalding, still maintaining. Yeah, Holy Innocents took a loss this weekend. It is what it is. Consider, they played a tough hard-fought game, but for the most part, though, Stockbridge and this is personally for me, having put eyes on Stockbridge. I don't think they're ready for. I don't think they're ready for that. I don't think they're ready for the top 10 right now. I really don't.
Well, they beat the brakes off of Mount Zion. Good.
No, you don't understand. I seen Stockbridge when they played Douglas County, and this is what I'm saying. They had Douglas County beat. The problem was, one, they were undisciplined. Number two, receivers dropped. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Receivers dropped at a minimum 15 passes.
What's going on, people?
What's going on, EP?
What's that, EP? So that's my thing with Stockbridge. Stockbridge poses too many issues for them to enjoy this spotlight in the top 10 right now. I need to see what they're going to do and prove that they've got all this stuff together throughout the region, because they got a few games that they need to take care of. They got 2 teams in the region they need to take care of.
That was going to be my question. Do you think that, because you saw them the very first game of the season, so are those discipline issues? Do you think those are things that they could have possibly improved upon? Because it is week 8 now. So do you think that that would still be an issue? Do you think that's something that can be corrected by week 8?
It should be corrected. Now, don't get me wrong. They have an impressive resume. They do. Like I said, they took a 7-point loss to Douglas County. They lost to Colquitt County by 20. In our minds, if you hear Doherty, you think first thing come to mind is Cam, so you figure that's a quality win, right? When did Cam go down?
I think somebody in that game, right?
Because Doherty lost that game 54-0. I
think that's when he went down.
Exactly. Now, they've been in region play since September 8th. You played a weak Luella team, a weak Hampton team, a weak Mount Zion. Now you're finna play a Lovett that can go either way, but I think you should blow them out because they lost to Luella. And you got Woodland coming up. So you really don't have anything to pressing you, with the exception of Pace Academy in October.
Okay.
For you to win that region. So I'm hoping they got it all squared away and everything is coming together for them to actually go ahead, win that region, and hopefully make a deep playoff run.
So let me read some of these comments. How you doing, Nikki? Welcome. Wesley says Thomasville can beat Carver Columbus if the coach calls the right plays and changes up some of his personnel on the field. Then I definitely feel good about it, but right now it's kind of iffy. Shaking my head. D'Angelo says, not you saying it's 50-50. Um, Obadiah says, I know Thomas County Central will beat Tifton, so I might just take a trip to the Thomasville High School to watch their game. The game is in Columbus. Ken does say that the game is in Columbus. Antoine says, I wish there were more teams in the region that played each other, but I guess that's what the playoffs are for. Exactly. Whitwood says, if my son didn't play for TCC, I'd be in Valdosta. Jeremy says they need to bring that region playing game back.
No, they
What
don't.
about that? No. Okay.
No.
Dwayne says Tiffany's gonna upset TCC.
Boy, you about to get some shit started.
In what? In what? Horseshoes or something? No. Um.
A snowball fight next week.
Yeah. That's why I said New Hampshire got Wayne and Burt the last 2 games of the season. Ooh. So, you've been really big on New Hampshire, Mr. Warrior. So, if you really want to prove your worth, if you beat both of them, then hey, yeah. Zachary says y'all come to the Bear Den Friday night. A couple of us will be watching Thomasville and Carver Columbus, so we'll be at Otis Spencer Stadium. But thank you so much for the invitation. We appreciate it. Dwayne said that's a hot take, so yes, he didn't believe that mess. Obadiah said, Dwayne, you just wanted Jessica to respond to your comment. Well, I gave him what he wanted. Kendrick says, not for the next 5 years they won't. Oh, you're saying Thomas County Central won't lose to Tift County. Okay, Al says Cam went down the first game, so apparently he didn't play in the Stockbridge game. But
and it's evident. It's evident.
But they went 3-0. I think they started losing when I thought they started losing when Cam went down because they were undefeated. They went 3-0. They played the sisters.
No, sister, I'm correct. They went 2-0.
Oh, okay.
Westover and beat Randolph Clay, and then after that third game, they've been on a downward spiral.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I didn't know Cam went down the first game.
I'm gonna say Cam went down the second game.
Obadiah says here she comes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you fixing to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm telling you, stop playing with me, boy. I ain't the one. I will kick you out of here, and I don't care if it's Monday. I'm gonna make it say it with your chest Monday. You keep fucking with me, little boy.
I already did. Go ahead, sis.
Christopher says Stockbridge should be ranked number 6. They are a very good team.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Mr. Slaughter. That they are not a very good team. My thing is, when I saw them when they played Douglas County at the Inner City Classic, they were very undisciplined and they dropped a lot of passes. Now it could have been cleaned up. I just don't go and watch Stockbridge games like that because I can't carry my pistol inside the stands with me. But what you do from here on out is going to show that. And at the same time, you got a weak region. So you got yourselves in a good position to make a playoff run. So do what you're supposed to do. You 3-0 in the region, 4-2 overall. Just continue doing what you're doing. Take your number 1 seed and ride with it.
Let's see.
Now, hold on. Hey, can I say something?
Yeah.
What other podcast gonna give you information like that? Because that's why we the best in the state of Georgia. Let's roll.
Antoine says, my bad, Island is in between, but they better come to play because the 4A conversation is going to be different if any of those lose to the Hamp. You're absolutely right.
Why didn't you read that whole thing? As soon as you read the word Islands, why you had to keep going?
Because he said Island is in between his 2 toughest games, Burke and Wayne. He thought they played back to back, but he's saying Island is in between Burke and Wayne.
Man. Okay.
But if he either beats Burke County or Wayne County, then the conversation will be different. That's what he said.
Okay, that's all I'm saying, Mr. Ward. Don't ever bring up the school Island ever again on this podcast. Never ever again. Don't bring up Island. It's Island, dog. Do what you're supposed to.
We welcome
That's
all schools. You talk about islands. Shout out to the island sharks. We talk about all schools here. We love all schools in the GHSA and the GISA, but we don't talk about them. Okay, so let's see. I'm glad you're doing good, Nikki. When can Coffee and Cartersville meet up? We will be talking next week about the brackets, Jamie. So make sure you tune in
yeah.
next week. That's when we'll bring
Next
those
Monday.
out.
Next Monday. Next Monday.
Antoine says my son plays. He's a junior, and I got to be big on them. That's right. It's a poor fraud that don't praise.
Support your baby.
It's a poor fraud that does not praise his own pawn. So you better rep your baby. Let's see. Let's see. Whit say you smoking Molly if he thinks Tiff County will beat us. Yeah, he on something.
Man, we smoking around here is blunts and black and mild.
Okay,
Oh, you
so
can't smoke Molly.
Oh my God.
Oh my bad.
You
Man, you
can't
ain't
smoke
smoking.
Molly.
Man, you ain't smoking no Newport right now.
You can't smoke Molly. I don't care how it goes. You can't smoke Molly.
let's
It's a country
see.
thing you wouldn't understand.
You can
So
sniff it,
this is the
eat it,
perfect
but you can't smoke it.
yeah. This is the perfect segue into 5A. Mr. Johnson from Coffee County is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He says anybody can get it. And with that being said, let's move on to 5A.
5A. I don't know what the AJC is thinking about and looking at. How in the hell you got Cartersville at number 4? But anyway, Cartersville is still my favorite to win Class 5A this year, but Coffee, Creekside, Jefferson, we got the same top 4 rounded out as everything else beneath that. We still riding the coattail of Cal, Hiram. I'm gonna say this about you. You had fun so far throughout the season. Um, I do see your run in the top 10 coming to an end soon. Because you do have to play Cartersville in 2 weeks. You got Calhoun next week, so those 2 losses gonna put you at 4-3. You might end up dropping out of our top 10 poll and the AJC poll. Just saying. Um, so with that being said, Calhoun, AJC, show respect to Calhoun for what they've done. Even though because and then also on top of that, look who they took a loss. Look who they lost to. They lost to Cartersville and Blessed Trinity. Moving
And
on from there,
they were
huh?
commanding, they were in the lead at one point, right? Then
Yeah,
Cartersville
well,
had to come back and win.
yeah. Cartersville had to come back from behind and win. That's why I'm like, how do you drop Cartersville? They had to lead. Cartersville had to fight and scrap for that. But Warner Robinson at 9 for them. We never put Ola in our polls. We brought in GAC. Anybody that's been following 3A, you know GAC keeps a stick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our polls for 5A.
Let me ask Chris a question. Welcome, Chris. You said y'all were off last Friday, so you watched Cartersville versus Calhoun this past Friday. So give me your opinion of what you saw and how you think your team is going to match up. We can move on to 6A, but I just want his opinion. And Mr. Johnson, you give yours too as to how you think your team would match up between either of those teams.
I just have one comment for 5A.
Okay.
5A, Ware County. As the Pinata King has said to a lot of teams, get your shit together. Because November 3rd, you're going to be outside of the top 10 come November 3rd. And for those individuals who don't know, Ware County plays Coffee November 3rd to close the season out. Because Jenkins, Bradwell Institute, Greenbrier, and Statesboro is going to do nothing for your resume. Okay.
Jeremy says Coach Harding got them Spartans right this year. They're 6-0. That's GAC. Rodney says because we damn coming. Okay, I hear you. Go ahead, Trojans. Go Coffee County Trojans. Nikki says, "Hey y'all, my Waco Hawks have been struggling this season. Do you still think we have a chance of making the playoffs?"
Wayne County.
No, Waco, Washington County.
What kind of
Oh,
what kind of chance is that, nigga?
Snowball.
Snowball. Anything is possible. I have to double check. I'm gonna go back and look at your region and see what I think.
Nigga knew the soup is good.
Man, I'm gonna
Good.
be
You
honest,
got
man.
a
It's hard to
play.
keep. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's hard to keep track of all 400 some schools in Georgia, but I know I do my best though. I
Antoine
don't
has
know
a
about
question for
y'all.
you guys. Go back to 5A
Yeah,
real quick. He wants to know, so who in my area is 5A? He's in the 912 area. So he's down there in southeast Georgia, I think. Yeah.
man.
So
Give me a city.
Where?
he's yeah.
Southeast,
Where?
Yeah.
southeast.
Where? That's all I
Yeah,
see.
because
Everybody
everything else
else
is middle Georgia and on up.
or Augusta. Jefferson is over in
Or
Augusta, right?
North Georgia. Yeah, North Georgia, middle.
Yeah, it's only one, and that's
Well, coffee is more.
South Georgia.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you can look at that as the same also.
Yeah, coffee and where. I'll give you that. They're in 229, but I'll give that. Let's see. Let's see. Dwayne. Oh, welcome early. McCray. I didn't tell you that earlier. Welcome. Dwayne has a question. How do y'all think Brooks will do in region play, and who do you think wins their region?
Man,
I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know what's going on with Brooks. You played some teams that were you was outmatched, higher classifications and all. But if it's traditional Brooke County, and I know great coach down there, Coach Freeman, he should get it together and run through that region. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brooks don't turn it around and win the region.
but at the same time, all right. Well, we know at the end of the day, Brooks gonna make the playoffs. It's a 14 region. They gonna make the playoffs. The question is, can you beat Irvin County and Pelham? Because you should handle Bacon. You should be able to handle Bacon County. Pelham has been known to, huh?
Now Bacon been playing some pretty good football. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Bacon,
No, they have been playing some pretty good. They've been playing decent. I'm gonna say decent because they beat the teams they should have beat, lost to the teams that they lost should have lost to. You know, they lost to Lanier County, beat Scraven, who is had a good class. That class gone. Had a game canceled against Barron, won against Atkinson, um, lost to Clinch, beat a good. I mean, beat an average East Lawrence. Now they finna play a average Johnson County, and then get in the region play Pelham versus Irwin.
Okay.
So that
Ken,
region is basically up for grabs right now because Burks and Irvin playing both of them playing like trash, like garbage. Let's be
Ken
honest.
Ken says Brooks is young and small, not very good, but the rest of the teams aren't good either. So yeah.
And that's why I
Let's
say
see.
that it's up for grabs.
Obadiah says, are y'all sleeping on Cairo or they ain't played nobody? I think it's the latter. Um, Early, tell me who you represent. You say we sure can. Let us know who you represent. Um, let's see. Rodney says the only thing that will beat us in this year is playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Okay,
Hell no.
okay, I
That's funny
like
right
that.
there.
I like that. I like that, Mr. Johnson. I do. Um,
Topic for state, huh?
yeah, okay. Jeremy said Becky County is not a pushover this year. How you doing, Mr. Wilson? He said big up goes out to Calhoun, Coach Clay Stevenson, and former Upson Lee. Shout out to Coach Calhoun. Oh,
I'm gonna say
early
it again.
coffee.
Oh,
Okay. No need
I'm
to
gonna say
push.
it again. That region is up for grabs at the end of the day.
Okay. Early is big coffee. I don't have to Google you, darling. I believe you, okay? I believe you, sugar. Okay, 6A.
All right, 6A. We both agree Gainesville number one team in 6A and the favorite to win 6A. Um, our top four is not the same because we are riding with Roswell to where they're riding the hot team right now in Douglas County. All right. Let's see. Maris Roswell. Yeah, the biggest difference is they brought Woodward Academy in, we brought North Atlanta in as we dropped Blessed Trinity. So with that being said, I have no problem taking questions from from the viewers and the listeners. Um,
Let's see. Bear says he still likes Hughes to win 6A.
Definitely.
I
for
don't see
sure.
any, I don't see any other I don't see any other comments. D'Angelo says no questions on my end. So let's see.
I think the biggest
Antoine,
thing with oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, Antoine says y'all see Paul Wilson is not here today. His son plays for Benedictine. He was just joking.
Uh,
Let's see. Obadiah says, let's just get to it. Who do y'all think will win the title in 6A? And I want to hear from everyone on the panel. We don't
it's
always
gonna be
get what we want, Obadiah, but
it's gonna be Hughes and Gainesville in the championship game at the end of the day.
I don't make my predictions on 6A all year long. I think it's Langston Hughes against Region 1 6A. Um, if Langston get put out, then I think it's Region 1 championship.
You know what my problem though is with what you said. You said Region One.
Mm-hmm.
This is my problem with what you saying. Give me the most electric passer in Region One right now.
AJ Hill.
AJ.
Okay, AJ Hill. If I'm not mistaken, down at what Houston County or Lee County?
Yep.
I know it one
Houston.
on
Houston.
Houston County. Okay. Once Lee County gets eliminated, all right?
Who said they will though?
No, listen to me. I just need for you to walk with me on this, okay?
Okay, I'm walking, friend. I'm walking.
Okay, walking with me. Here's my thing. With what Gainesville brings to the table, do you think any Region One team is seeing what Gainesville brings to the table?
Y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Who's playing disciplined football like that in Region One?
First of all, let me just tell you this. Region 1 is this. Pass and attack in Houston County. Ground and pound game in Lee County.
Mm-hmm.
A mixture of both with Thomas County Central.
Mm-hmm.
So, at any given time, those teams at 6A can't be prepared and studying what's going to be going on. Yeah, you're going to have that week, but you can't look at that bracket and say, oh, well, I know, like traditionally, yeah, we know Northside and Lee County going to be 1 and 2, and this person, this and this. Now that region is so competitive that you're really going to have to wait till the playoffs and the weeks come by and all of that. Now, with that being said, Gainesville is a run and shoot offense. They like to put points up. Look at every last one of those teams I just named. They put points up too. All it's going to take is one thing that North Gainesville area ain't going to be able to understand, and that's going to be defense. It only take one stop when you're in a shootout. One stop.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was trying to walk into. With the teams in Region 1, it's only going by what you were saying and what I'm thinking. It's really only 2 teams that can sustain a shootout out of Region 1. That being Houston County and TCC.
Nah. Lee County was just in a shootout with Hoko.
Dude, we talking about people that know each other. Them teams, they know each other. They've been playing each other for years. They know each other. I ain't counting that. What I'm getting at is this. I believe Gainesville is going to pose issues to whoever that. And like I said, I'm not looking at the brackets. I'm just making assumptions.
We'll do that next Monday,
Gainesville,
guys.
yeah, exactly, next week. Gainesville is going to pose an issue to whoever they face throughout the playoffs. I think we can all agree on that because a lot of people don't understand the type of talent that they have up there because a lot of people ain't paying attention to the red elephants up there and what they got going on because they're so focused on their own. The world is bigger than just your town, than just your school. Because Douglas County is going to sneak up on somebody in the playoffs and get to the third round. That is my receipt right now. Because they're going to see Douglas County, oh well. They're going to sneak into the third round. I guarantee you Douglas County will. Now, they're going to get put to sleep in the third round, but they're going to sneak in there. I'm being real because I've watched, again, watched Douglas County play Stockbridge. Them jokers scrappy. They scrappy. And I like that about a team that they feel like they can play against anybody any given time. And you are absolutely right. The quarterback is small. The whole team is small, Mr. Davis. That's what I'm saying. That's why I've been saying from the jump. Ever since I saw Douglas County play in week 1. And I've been saying the same thing. Those kids are scrappy. They don't care about size. They don't care about weight. All they want to do is ball. Beat me to that point where I'm trying to get to. That's what Douglas County does. And that's what they're gonna slap you in the face with. Beat me to the point I'm trying to get to.
Mark Fowler says TCC fans posted a poll today that had Thomas County Central #1 in all classifications.
You know they were going off of.
What?
That dude that works for the Georgia High School Historian website and his little thing that showed TCC with a rating of 101. And that was the highest throughout the entire state.
Okay.
Dog. When they understand that Maxwell thing, what the Maxwell rating really is, it's a dude. What dude go to school at? What, Georgia Tech or somewhere? Mathematician?
You're not talking about Drew. You talking about Drew?
No. No. The dude, okay, it was an interview done on, you know what, I ain't gonna even say his name, but because Coach don't worry about Pepsi. But it was he did an interview and he actually explained what he did. The dude never played football the dude that made up the Maxwell ratings never played football a day in his life. He just loved the game and was trying to figure out how to do projections in the game, predict the games and stuff. So he came up with a math equation.
Mm-hmm. A regression analysis.
Yeah, that's what he does. All right, North Atlanta, dude, we had very bad. We had North Atlanta on the bubble. We brought them in, but we don't expect them to stay long.
All right, let me read these comments because they get long. Antoine says, I like Gainesville. I watched them. D'Angelo wants to know why y'all are saying Gainesville now. Early and Barry are having a conversation in the comments. I'm going to let them have that, and I'm going to move on. Wesley says, I believe Gainesville will win the 6A state championship. Obadiah says this topic is about Thomas County Central. Obadiah, this topic was about 6A, not Thomas County Central. But considering who I'm talking to, yes, it was about Thomas County Central, friend. It was about Thomas County Central. Because 6A is all about the Yellow Jackets. D'Angelo says, Wesley Bryan, I thought you said he was
fucking world beaters.
You know what? Can I say something on TCC?
Yes.
I'm going to get this out. TCC, since y'all big and almighty, play a national schedule. Put your ass on the table and play a national schedule. That's all I'm going to say to you.
I mean, Creekside played modern day. Y'all put them on the schedule next year.
I mean, dude, you got 3A schools playing national schedule. Take your 6A ass and play a national schedule.
Again, because I saw somebody say TCC defense is the truth or whatever you said. You're absolutely correct. Shout out to that backfield coached by my daddy. That's all I got to say about y'all. Y'all can't get shit else from me.
But
D'Angelo
that's all
says,
I'm saying, though. I just want to see him play a national schedule.
shout out to Region 168. It's tough. Antoine says, I'm coming to Atlanta the whole state championship weekend. Actually, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this year, Antoine.
What
Antoine.
weekend? What weekend you coming up here? Cause you gonna miss everything. You gonna be at a Falcons game and a
SEC
Atlanta
championship.
United game.
Yeah, the SEC championship or something.
Yeah, the
Antoine,
Peach Bowl.
yeah, it's gonna be on the weekday this year,
It's
and then
two.
next year it's gonna go back to the weekend.
Yeah, it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, something like that.
Let's see. D'Angelo says shoutouts don't win shootouts don't win championships. Defense wins it in the playoffs. I don't disagree.
Shit, that's been proven wrong plenty of years. Have you
Barry
not been watching the playoffs the past couple of years?
Barry
I'm
says he
sorry.
likes it's okay. Barry says I like Lee too. Um D'Angelo says Gainesville has some size. I follow them on IG. Obadiah wants to know what challenge Gainesville has. Let's see. D'Angelo says we spoke on this Friday. Yeah, you did because you talked about going up there. We did have this discussion. So if y'all want to go back to the set with your chest on Friday, y'all can. But I'm letting you know it's a whole bunch of cuss words flying, and I don't apologize for it. Now, Wesley says no joking. Gainesville has one of the top elite coaches. If you know about football, coaches Josh Niblitz. It's another coach rush from Alabama. He did come over here from Alabama. I remember that. Antoine says has a question for you guys. Can y'all say who has the best defenses in each class just off the top of your head? That'll probably be something y'all want to address that Wednesday. Y'all want to think about it and address that Wednesday, or y'all want to answer it now?
Man, you got me doing too much work now. Look, man, I already got to write down my pros and cons of supporting Prince Avenue. Now I got to do this.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. You wrong, shit.
Let's try. I'd rather say that for next week. Give us something to talk about next week.
Okay, so Mr. Antoine, we'll do our due diligence and we'll talk about that next week. Cool. Obadiah wants to know about Gainesville region. You addressed Douglas County quarterback being too little. Ken says some people get fooled by high power offenses, but defense wins championships.
Bullshit.
Wesley says, D'Angelo says, Wesley, I know all about Gainesville because I live up here. He says they have heart, but it's a difference when they get hit in the face. Kind of like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Let's see. Chris wants to know, out of all three, Lee, TCC, and Hoko, which one do you all think has the best defense? Edge rushers, linebackers, DBs, scheme, and all, in you all's opinion?
Man, I'm gonna sit up here and be honest with you. I do my best to watch tape on teams throughout the state. I haven't sat up here and watched every single game from every single team. I'm not gonna. I haven't done it, and I'm not gonna do it. Do understand? We take our inputs, or shall I say, we take our analysis from the inputs we get from you, the fans, the viewers, and what we collect. All right. So I can't honestly, I'm not gonna sit up here and say which, because anybody is just looking at the stat line. It's TCC right off the rip because they ain't giving up. They're really not giving up points to anybody. But when you actually watch the film, you know, it could be that they're just one playing inferior opponents, which they have done throughout their non-region schedule,
There you
playing
go.
inferior opponents. So I can't answer that question honestly because Lee County could be playing quality opponents and Warner Robins, Colquitt County. But the defense actually performed well. It was just the team they played out coached them, outplayed them at the end of the day. So I can't make that call honestly. But I will tell you this though. I'm sticking to what I just said though. Thomas County Central has played some inferior opponents. That's why their defense has only gave up 28. Has only given up about 47 points in 6 games because they played inferior opponents.
But they do what
Now,
they're supposed to do.
yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Come talk to me on October 22nd. Talk to me October 27th, and talk to me November 3rd, and let's see what the defense did then.
And then we'll be able to give you a better assessment. But right
Exactly.
now, TCC looks to have the best defense based on stats alone.
Yeah, just on paper.
Let's see. Wesley says he's not putting TCC down. Y'all are supposed to be a threat this year, but Gainesville is pretty good, and Josh Niblett is the real deal. Jeremy wants to know what happened to South Atlanta.
Oh man, shit! Everybody graduated last year. That's what happened to them.
Okay, and so I think we can go on to 7A.
And hold on before we get there. So
Okay.
clearly, it's not scripted, but we have stuff that we plan to talk about before we get on here. So don't get in the comments and get mad because you suggest something that you think we should be talking about, and then we don't talk about it. It's not because we don't want to; we just don't care to, and we have other things to discuss, and we're not going to talk about one team all night.
Yeah. And you know what, sis? I got your back on that because we cover all 420 plus teams in the state of Georgia, not just one class.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, we're gonna move on to 7A. 7A. 1, 2, 3. Top 4 is the same. We just got them in different orders as of right now. Since Carrollton took that loss, Colquitt County, we feel is the number 2 team in the state. But I do want to say this. There was a comment or two that went up tonight about Buford and Mill Creek. Yes, it is possible for them to meet in the playoffs, but why do we gotta wait till the playoffs? Why we can't get them October 3rd on ESPN?
Bam.
October 13th. We can watch that game October 13th on ESPN. That's going to determine the region champ right there.
Mm-hmm.
Buford is off this week. If I'm not mistaken, I think not Colquitt, but Mill Creek is off this week also. So they both got an off week, getting prepared for each other. So
Colquitt is off too.
Colquitt is off too. Okay, cool.
Colquitt is. I don't know what Colquitt is, but Colquitt is.
Colquitt. Man, you know I ain't got no look. I'm mad at Colquitt. But anyway, Colquitt, Mill Creek, Buford, all off this week. But Buford, Mill Creek, they do play on ESPN in the Geico High School Classic on October 13th. So we can all watch that game. Just pay your cable bill before then. That's all I can tell you. Or go ahead and subscribe to the ESPN app. All right. Walton is a team. Don't sleep on Walton. Pay attention to them. Carrollton. Obviously, I expect Carrollton and Buford to be in the state title game, with Carrollton losing to Buford, and Buford sets an all-time record in the state of Georgia that would never, ever be taken down by having one school win a state title in every classification. I think Buford is going to accomplish that task this year with that defense they have. I don't know why people are sleeping on their defense, but it is what it is. Saying Carrollton will win Juju's junior and senior year in 7A, or shall I say in 6A. Newton, enjoy the spotlight. I want you to continue doing what you're doing, but eventually it's going to come to an end. But I love what you guys got going on out there. You know, say thank you to that previous coach at Alexander. If you guys don't remember the story from last year, you do a little song for me. I'll make sure your son gets some playing time. It is what it is type of situation.
Just good.
Bona fide moves involved in there. Cool. No problem. Newton is one team that you got to Now you have one more team in your way, and that's Parkview in your region. All right, you got to deal with Parkview in your region, so hopefully you can handle business against Parkview in October 20th. Norcross, Grace, and Lambert. Lambert, I know you're gonna let me down again like you did last year, so I'm not putting any stock in you at all this year. You're here because one, you've done what you're supposed to do along the way, but at the end of the day, your region freaking sucks. You haven't played anybody really. You you know a flower. Okay, you beat Flowery Branch and you beat East Coweta. You beat East Coweta by one back, 2 weeks ago. But it is what it is. But your region poses no threat to you, so you should come into the playoffs 10-0 with a number one seed. But you're gonna end up getting tossed second round probably. I wouldn't even be. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised you get tossed in the second round in the playoffs.
Jamie says Colquitt versus Walton for the state championship.
What are you smoking?
Well, let me read these comments.
Hold on 1 second. I want to address something real quick. I just read a comment and I want to know what Obadiah's and Scene is talking about. When he said say it with your chest cutting Shakira Brown, now just put a name on it. What are you referring to? And
I think he referred to when I said we're not going to sit here and talk about one team, because that's the last thing I said. And then comments start to spark after that. But let me be clear. We not one-sided over here. I've sat here not only tonight, but before tonight, and pretty much have gave you guys your props. It may be me by myself, but hell, even Mike just said he thinks TCC got a great defense. So what is it that y'all want exactly? Like, I'm trying to help me figure this shit out. What y'all want? A trophy? Y'all want the trophy already or something? Like, help me, because we've had a whole show. We've discussed all of the classifications and everybody that was of importance, including y'all. So what is it? Am I missing something?
No, ma'am.
Damn.
No, man. You know what it is? You know what it is? I'm going to be honest with you. They wanted to be all about them, and we not going to make it all about them because we talk about everybody. Win, lose, draw, we're going to talk about you. And as long as you continue to show progression and stay in the top 10, we're going to highlight you. But the moment you lose,
you better not damn lose. You better not lose.
Exactly, because that's our motto.
Bet not.
So
lose.
therefore, we gonna bring that pressure.
Okay, hold on.
And
I'm
put it
being
on your neck.
addressed directly. So you can come on. You don't have to mention me in the comments. You can come on and talk to me, Whitney. Whitney, you know me. You know me personally. So hear me clearly when I say this. If it don't apply, let it fly. Because I'm really fed up. It's aggravating. It's annoying for us to be grown. We can't even have a show without somebody with the look at me syndrome. So you don't have to agree with nothing that I say. I honestly don't care. I didn't target you. I wasn't attacking you. So again, if it don't apply, let it fly. And that's going to be the first and the only time I say that shit.
You know what? I'm going to say something. And this is coming from me as a City Grove fan, not as an analyst on this podcast, not as a researcher, whatever the case may be. This is coming from me as a City Grove fan. One thing I have learned, despite all the success that City Grove has had in the past 7 years, I got to humble myself because that success can end at any time. We could always be at the wrong end of that spectrum at any given time. So therefore, I don't speak on City Grove no more like I used to because I've learned to humble myself. All we're saying is, obviously, enjoy the ride that you're on right now from last year and this year. But at the same time, it's not all about you. I understand. Your team is finally winning. Your team is finally doing something after having subpar years. But at the end of the day, one, your ass get irritating and annoying because we're like, okay, here they go again, but they ain't gonna do nothing in the state playoffs. As usual. You're gonna make it, but you're gonna fizzle out. The flame is gonna somebody gonna piss on your flame. So take it from me, y'all. Enjoy the ride. No problem.
And Dante, you can go to hell too, because I've been talking. If I had my
Shine
way, you wouldn't be able to comment on here.
shine light on your players, highlight your players, help your players get that offer. Fan base. Support the team, support the coaches, help them players get offers. Those players y'all feel that's balling out, do what y'all can to help them get offers. That's how you support your team. Because a lot of them ain't getting offers. Hell, if you help them kids get tutored in the classes that they need tutored in, trust and believe, as a team on this podcast, we've been there to help a kid or two get a scholarship somewhere. But at the end of the day, when you're coming and you're being ignorant about the situation, we're gonna look at you and say, nah, we good. Because a lot of us on this panel got connections to help a kid from your team get somewhere. But you gotta remain humble because if you're not humble about your team's success, we're not going to want to entertain you and help you because you've already irritated us, and now we're like, man, I don't want to deal with this individual, man, because this individual is basically an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got time, or we can do this on Wednesday. Because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the back and forth. And I've been on this panel now for 2 years, and nobody has had an issue with anything I say other than one irritating motherfucker, and it's clear in the comments who that is. So yeah, because like I said, I've given this team props outside of my daddy. They got the juice. So again, my question is, what do y'all want? Don't type in bold letters to me. Means nothing.
So
Hold
I'm
on,
gonna
hold
try to
on,
get.
hold on, real quick. Y'all got so much to say in the comments. Do y'all want to come on?
Not tonight. I'm not
Nope,
doing
nope,
that
nope.
tonight.
Not tonight, dog.
No,
Man, we're
no,
almost at
not
two and a
tonight.
half hours. We're
We're
almost
not
at two
doing
and a
this
half
tonight.
hours. We're
We're
gonna
not
save
doing
that
this
for Friday.
tonight. Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna finish reading these comments, and let me say this: we are not scripted, but we control how this show goes. So you can have a suggestion, but you don't dictate shit. Okay. We talk about what we want when we want. So if we don't talk about what you want to talk about, there's no need to get upset about it. It just is what it is. You formulate your own damn podcast and you do it then. Okay. So now I'm going to go through these 50 million comments and I'm going to pick out those that make sense. If I didn't read your comment, I either overlooked it or I thought it was stupid or is not germane to the conversation. So let's go. Mr. Hortman says Maxwell ratings was the poll with the TCC as number one in all classes. Jamie says, I know all about that defense bullshit because I was on a great defense and lost in the third round. So I guess that's talking with regard to defense wins championships. Obadiah says, I know it's not Friday and I can't say it with my chest, but I'm going to see TCC defense is fire. Chris says, I can dig it, thirsty. Kelvin says, out of all the three, based off of what I saw Friday night, I'll go with TCC. Whit says, shout out to Mr. Rogers and company. We have the best DC in 6A. Speaking on 229, you're not going to sit here and say we haven't played teams that make a deep run in the playoffs. Let's see. Kendrick says, and TCC is the most hated. Nobody hates TCC. Some of your fans are annoying as fuck, but that's okay. Stick your chest out. Jeremy says, Kendrick, boy, you, god damn it, you got one more time. I'm so sick of your turtle ass. Cordell says, well, y'all need to tune in to the Bear Den Burke County Bears 6-0 versus Benedictine 6-0. And I think let us
That
know.
will be a good game. That's gonna be
That's
a
gonna
good
be
game.
a great game, Cordell. Thank you for pointing that out. Who are you representing, Cordell? Let us know. Yeah, that's stupid, so I'm not gonna read that. Jamie says, you said that, darling. Wody, welcome, Wody. How you doing, friend? I have forgot you told me I was trying to flirt with that coach, and I was not. Newton is the dark hole. Newton is the dark hole. Damn, I got
Horse,
horse.
horse.
Newton is the dark horse. I got tongue tied. Let's see. Sis said what she had to say. Morris said Parkview is a home game. Welcome, Cordell. You said you're just joining. Welcome. I'm not reading that because that's dumb as fuck too. Kendra says it's all fun. Yes, it should be. Let's see. Jamie says, tell me why you don't see Colquitt versus Walton for state.
Because there's other teams out there better than Walton. I'm sorry. And um, Colquitt County got exposed 2 weeks ago by a 3A team, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Which means Carrollton can come back in your house and do the same thing they did last year.
Mm. Oscar says that's some real shit, Mike. Cause sheesh, you see the grow of us to sleep. But not for real. That's big, bro. Everyone won't admit it. Dante says, man, it's football. Let's see. Big Face Sports says, send them to us, please. We will be glad to help them for free. So y'all got it. Go to Big Face Sports if you need
Big
some
Face
help.
Sports, thank you. Big Face Sports, thank you for supporting us, and we're gonna do what we can to do to support you.
Sean says, man, imagine not helping the kid. Dante says, you don't think your analysts are assholes? I mean, apparently
Yeah, we
not.
are assholes at
Yeah,
times.
and you can think we're assholes. I mean, they probably think you assholes, but in the grand scheme of things, you know my motto: you could die tomorrow, and I won't give a fuck. So that's that. Let's see. All
You
four of
mud
y'all is
duck.
mute. Um, do you know the definition of mute? We're actually talking, so we're not mute, but I'm not going to even address that because that's dumb as fuck. And I did say I was not addressing dumbass comments. So I'm going to keep moving. Obadiah says, I'm sure I'll be blocked from this comment, but EP, you barely speak on the show. So when I address certain things in certain situations, just know it's not shady, but don't jump in and try to call someone out because I always support Thomas County High School. Okay, so Obadiah, here's the thing. He is the EP. So he can jump in and out when he wants to. His job is to be behind the scenes. However, he's a grown man and he can jump in and he can say what he wants when he wants, however he wants, because it's his show. He created it and it's his baby. It's all our baby now, but he can say what he wants when he wants to. Okay, Jamie says Colquitt. Oh God, we got that. Yes, we have talked about Thomas County Central. Let's see. Um, Obadiah said, I like what just said, some, not all. Antoine says, we're waiting on that Burke County down here in Savannah. That should be a good game. Yeah, Sean, that's what you get for being late. We're not addressing that anymore. Next time, be on time. Patrick says, Appleton County and Toombs County is going to be a good game. I certainly agree. And Appleton
That and
County,
Pierce County versus Toombs County is gonna be a good game.
yes. Yes, Jamie. I'm just gonna let the brackets talk because I've said this a million times. The brackets, I mean, the high school game is pure pretty much. So, I mean, we talk about these polls and these rankings, and it's just for conversation and it's just for fodder. The only thing that matters is the brackets and who holds up the trophy at the end of December or at the end of the season, which is what the beginning of December. So, I mean, like I said, this is just entertainment and
Hey,
anything.
Sean. Sorry, sis. Who's the TCC hate on the panel? Because if you're talking about me, are you simple, slow, or just all of the above? My daddy coaches the backfield. There's nothing that I hate about Thomas County Central outside of hate week itself. Get you some business, you and Jeremy, matter of fact, and get out the comments.
Waldy says the only thing is going to kill all the talk is to win the state championship game, TCC. That's it. End of story. Let's see. Some of y'all in these comments only come around when the football season starts. Be there all 18 years. Patrick Seller says yes. Oh, you're agreeing with the Toombs County thing. Yeah, that's a dumbass comment, so I'm through with that. Okay, so I've read all the comments. Do we have a question of the day, people?
No, we don't because we already over time, and I got to get to this Monday night football game to make sure I win my fantasy game for the week.
All right, so guys, we thank you for joining us tonight. Why don't you come back Wednesday? So we'll talk about the upcoming games Friday. We'll talk about predictions, and any other topics that you would like to discuss. With that being said, y'all, we hope Yo feels better tonight. We
Andrew,
and we hope
Andrew,
Joe feels better. And shout out to the EP. We hope you feel better as well, EP. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful night. Y'all make sure y'all come back here Wednesday around 7 o'clock, and we will do this all again. Y'all take care.
peace, love, and hair grease.
Y'all get on my nerves. Good night.